Have you ever wondered what goes into the selection and preparation of thoroughbred racehorses? At the yearling sales in New Zealand and Australia, literally thousands of horses are on offer, and only a percentage of these will ever be winners. The yearling's lineage, both from the stallion and the mare, are obviously key factors. Their deportment and physical makeup are another, and their temperament is vital too. Some horses just don't want to race. Horses are bred too for different distances. Some are sprinters, some are stayers. The Lucky 8 Syndicate will include both types of horses, and spreading your investment across 8 horses will guarantee you some great entertainment and hopefully provide a return. A yearling from the best stallion in town and the best mare is not going to be inexpensive, and there is no guarantee. Not all Zabil's progeny win. Sometimes it's an inexpensive yearling that has the right mix to go right to the top, and it is picking this horse that takes not just great experience and skill, but also a nose. Some yearlings from humble backgrounds have a presence that a smart buyer will recognise. For the Lucky 8 Syndicate, this is where the story starts: smart buying. This is based on the utilisation of key resources and experience, and the discipline that goes with following a proven approach. Once purchased, the Syndicate's horses are sent to a nursery adjustment stable where they learn to relate to humans and to be handled. How they are treated here is very important. Their personalities start to develop, and their potential to run different distances starts to show.
Myself and my partner Eddie own and operate Oxford Thoroughbreds. It's a 60-acre property, and we lease 20 acres from the next door neighbour. Mostly we adjust horses for clients such as Kevin. At our busiest, we're sort of up to a maximum of 40. Winter time, we sort of get down to around that 25. Most of Kevin's come from weanling sales around New Zealand and Australia, so we've taken them from weanlings. And once you get into it, it becomes just a passion. And that's the joy of it, especially when you have your first winner.
From here, the next stage in their education is breaking in. Some are easily persuaded to allow a rider on their back, some less easily.
Well, we take them anywhere from sort of 18 months to 2-year-olds and upwards. Obviously we can only do a little bit with a younger horse and do a lot more with an older horse. So, and all our job really is to do is just to get them manageable so that they can accept the rider. Basically you just work with a lead rope and a halter, get them flexing up in a halter, get them nice and soft to accept the halter and lead. Then you handle their legs. Once you can lead and tie them and touch their legs, then the next stage of accepting a girth and bridle starts. So. Well, I like to ride each horse for at least a month under saddle before they leave, so they get a number of riders on them before they leave.
Once broken in, they are sent to a trainer. Lucky 8 are utilising 2 training stables at Wexford and Ballymore. Ballymore operates in New Zealand at Matamata and in Australia at Flemington and Melbourne. Wexford just at Matamata. Let's look at Ballymore in New Zealand and Australia.
Well, I've worked for Ballymore Stables for probably the best part of 10 to 12 years through my association with the Melbourne side of the stable. I worked over there as assistant trainer for Mike, which probably would have been for 7 or 8 years. Yeah, just for people out there that have never had anything to do with racing in general. The way we work with the horses is we purchase the horses at the sales with our bloodstock agent Paul Moroney, who generally does most of our buying, and then we progress from there, and we get our syndicates together, and I think being syndication is the way to go in this day and age. It's not such a much of expense for people, because if you have 10 people in a syndicate, it makes it a lot easier to cover the costs.
We're at Ballymore Stables at Flemington. This is the Australian branch of Ballymore Stables. Right more or less in the middle of town. We're only 10 minutes away from the CBD, more or less, so 10 minutes to a quarter of an hour, depending on traffic. But Flemington's been probably the most famous racecourse here in Melbourne, definitely, and certainly a lot consider it the best race track here in Australia. This has been going here since 1999. I shifted into the biggest stable here. We had a smaller stable just around the corner, but we've more or less been here full time. Well, I have been since 1999 running this part of the operation. Look, we've probably, since we've been here, won around about 30 million in prize money. This year here we've had a particularly good year. We've topped the $4 million. We're probably going to end the season on about 4.2 million here. and that'd be one of our better seasons. I think our record season was about 5.5 million the year we won the Melbourne Cup with Brew, but we also won the biggest 2-year-old race in Victoria with True Jewels, the Blue Diamond, that particular year. So this has been a really good year, and been a really good return for the owners and that, because it's certainly great money here in Australia if you can get the right horses. Probably the best horse Kevin raced out of our stable was Excellent, and look, he's the best horse I've ever trained. Just disappointing that he didn't last for longer than what he did. He had leg trouble, but he was really ready to sort of take the world on when he had those injuries, but he certainly was a world-class horse.
Wexford is the home of younger trainer Andrew Scott.
We're at Wexford Stables here in Matamata in the Waikato. It's been a racing stable for the last 35 years. It's a property of close to 700 acres, and I believe probably 70 acres of the 700 is designated to the horses. We train at any one time anywhere from between 45 to 50 horses, and we can accommodate more, but we find it just it's a lot easier to train less and look after them better. A lot of champion horses have come out of the stable under the care of Dave and Paul O'Sullivan. There's been Japan Cup winners, Cox Plate winners. There's been hundreds of group winners, and many champions that have come out of here. I think Mr. Tiz has been trained here. Mr. Horlicks has been trained here. Waverley Star, O'Reilly was trained here. Many good horses, we could go on forever. But so it's been a very successful stable over many years. If you buy them at 18 months old, well, they can't obviously race till about 2.5. So there's a year of waiting after you buy them when they're 18 months. So it's a bit of a long, drawn-out process to get them to the stage of getting them up and racing. But if we're racing them, we're trying to have and create a enjoyable experience, and it's often not all about winning. It's about meeting different people and getting around the country and following your horses, and just enjoying the day out, and just doing your best to sort of get around and enjoy the racing, really.
Training is a tough routine for horses and is broken up with spelling, where they're sent to a spelling farm to relax and think about what they've learned.
We take spellers, race horses just out of work, and we adjust them on behalf of trainers, and we try put them on rolling country, try and strengthen them up, and then when the trainers want them back, we send them back to the trainers, put back in work. Just the rolling country just helps to strengthen them up. It's a good thing. It's worked for us for the last 2 or 3 years. It just really develops them, especially if you've got something that's quite a weak-boned horse. It really helps in their development. We check them twice a day. With regards to the spellers, we feed them twice a day. We spell a lot of the horses all year round, so at this stage I think we've got between 8 or 9 horses here at the moment, and they're usually on behalf of Kevin Augie, who owns them all.
If you commit to this syndicate, you won't be guaranteed winners, although looking at the selection of horses, this is highly likely. What you will be guaranteed is making new friends among fellow syndicate members, having lots of enjoyment and excitement, and joining the sport of kings as an owner.